I think our conflicts had a role to play, and that's why sometimes we don't blame these people who do not read, and the fact that books are not reliable, and the fact that sometimes we are hustling during the whole day, and we find it very hard to find a peace of mind, because when we come we are tired already, you want to sleep. So there are so many factors that make us who we are, but I assure you, I know so many people that read as South Sudanese. People might not know that they're reading, but I know that they read. Even some people that some of my friends that I never expected to be reading, because there are people who you will not see getting getting into the literary world or anything, but I was surprised to see that person. So I hope he doesn't see this video and start saying that I have taken his story to people outside. But know, I was so happy seeing him get to read every day, and get to, you know, I was happy. I knew South Sudanese are getting there. I knew, and I know South Sudanese are very brilliant people. There are people who are curious, people doing amazing things. Even when we study outside, the way we perform in schools, the way we top our classes can tell you that we're people who are curious and eager, but we just need that environment. I think what we are missing as South Sudanese is the environment to be nurtured and to grow in. But we really do read. Only sometimes situations can hinder us.
Thank you, Elite, for continuing with the conversation with the group. I had got kicked out by the internet, but now I'm back in here.
You're welcome.
Right. So when I left, I saw Wani raised his hand. I don't know whether he spoke or is about to speak.
He asked about reading, and
Okay.
yeah, the reading.
All right.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
So I
Yeah.
understand.
All right. Okay. So it seems we do not have other hands, but there was a question already that was raised by Stan, where he asked, "What motivates you?" I don't know whether that came up while I was away. There was a question in the chat that what motivates you to keep writing and reading? Yeah.
I write about everything around me. That's why when somebody asks me what do you write about, it's very hard for me to answer, because even when I am in the toilet, I am thinking, and I'm already having a story, and I have a poem in the battle within me called The Elevator. Most of people tell me that is their favorite poem, but they don't know that
including
that
me.
romantic scene. They don't know that that romantic scene, the elevator was. I was in the toilet, and I even had, I think, stomach pain that time. So
wow.
I was thinking of something different. So for me, inspiration is the need to grow in the process of writing. I find friendship, I find myself in writing. Writing makes me feel a normal person, because sometimes as I told you earlier, growing up, I did not feel normal as a human. But when I write, I feel like I'm normal. I feel at peace. I find so much in writing. Even sometimes some things, when I am down, I would just take my notebook and write everything I feel. And at the end of the day, I will find that I have written my solutions when I don't know.
Wow.
So I think writing is just the journey that helps me grow as a human. Yeah.
Thank you, Lit. I have also a hand raised by Joseph Ball. So Joseph, would you like to take the mic?
Thank you, Long, Alif, and Stan for this uh, presentation and speeches. I have learned a lot from this discussion. Of course, some of us are still aspiring to be good readers and writers, and we need a forum like this to nurture our interests so that our attitude embrace active reading and writing. So I learned a lot from this, especially the presentation you gave and the life story about Alice and how she started at a younger age to be a good reader and a writer. Of course, we have learned what contributed to her success, and we are going to try it also on our own and also to our families so that they can imitate us and have children like Alip in our families. I heard when she was introducing herself about Writers Fellowship. Maybe she can share more about that. If people want to learn from her, for example, that she already have platforms where she can interact with people. If somebody has a book to be reviewed, how can they be reached? This is what I want to put across.
So you want me to talk about the Writers Writing Fellowship?
Yes.
Okay. So thank you so much for the question. For me, I think Writers Writing Fellowship is a challenge to me. It's what I love to do. I think it has become like something that gives me excitement because it's about writing, and I feel like I'm living the everyday life. So Writers Writing Fellowship, when we found it, and and Ngong, the person hosting us, is the deputy chairperson for Writers Writing Fellowship. So we thought, how do we use the pen to educate our people? How do we advocate using the pen that we use every day? So how do we bring young people that need the space for editing, the space to be mentored to grow into writing, the space to perfect their publications, and how do they get nurtured or given that environment where they can grow as writers and lead or inform their communities. Uh, so that's how we came about with Writers Writing Fellowship, because we found the need to foster literary achievements to. So we do facilitate learning in all forms like poetry, drama, fiction, and maybe if those who are interested to do maybe songwriting, we could host them trainings. And then as I talked earlier, that we do the mentorship part. So our aim was, okay, South Sudanese writers do not have the platform to grow, do not have people that mentor them. And for us as writers, maybe even Ngong knows that as he was publishing, he found it hard to find a mentor. So we said, okay, how do we bridge this generational gap between writers? We have Tabando Leong, the leading in Africa, like he's among the leading in Africa. How do we give him the space to mentor his own writers? How do we bring people like Stan, who have so much writings, who have published a lot, who is already good at the game, who is already good at writing, who knows how this is done? How do we bring him to mentor others? So it was more of, okay, if we did not get this kind of mentorship, how do we make sure we are building a foundation for the coming writers? Maybe if we don't get to the best of our writing selves, we need to at least bring out that best in other South Sudanese writers who are going to come up. That means we can even have a good writer in South Sudan who's 10 years old. Why? That's if we have the space to mentor them. And that's why now we look into the schools for children who have the talents to tell their stories, and we bring elders through this platform. So I don't know if I have answered you, but I am open to answer the question if you have a question that I did not clarify.
Thank you, Alid, for the feedback. I think if Paul wants to have a follow-up question, maybe Paul, how do you react to that?
No, not really. That's a very good feedback.
Okay, thank you very much, Paul. I see one more hand raised by Wani. Wani would like to come back briefly.
Yeah, thank you so much, Alid. I really appreciate the feedback, and I just want to bring this one observation. How do you connect writing to public speaking? Because most of the writers are good public speakers, but how much do you think that we should invest in the two, public speaking and writing? Because there is one aspect of writing and there is that aspect of the storytelling that comes as a result of public speaking.
Yeah.
How best can we connect these two?
As I said earlier on, I had been an introvert. I don't speak out, and it was hard getting into people and having conversations with people and interacting. But what I know, or what I have learned in the process, is that if you have written, because writing is something you do in the dark, it's just like pregnancy. Nobody knows what you have been through, how long it took you, what, and now when the child is out, the public knows the child is out, and with pride you say, I've given back to a child. So, and then when you speak about your writing now, because most of the writers, what they do in public is talk about their writings. You speak with passion because you know what you went through to write this book, the research, the tireless work, the sleeping at 4, 5 sometimes,
That's right.
the finding a title, the squeezing your brain. So when you finish this work, you're like, yes, this is mine. And this is why you find people speaking with passion, because this is something that is part of them. And you don't shy away because you have internalized it. You feel you're talking about yourself with confidence, with passion. It's just like telling you, Ali, come and tell us about your name. So my name is part of me. It is who I am. So that book is a part of me, whether it is fiction, whether it is non-fiction, that is my story. And with so much passion, I have to talk about it. I hope I have answered him.
Thank you.
I see he's showing a happy face. I can see his happy face right there.
There is that one quote that comes. Writing is in the dark like pregnancy. That's one of the, I just laughed. And that's the beauty of writing. And that is the beauty of telling the stories.
Yeah, public speaking, you're just telling how it went, like it's your passion. Yeah, it's just like you are telling people, this is my child that I'm proud of. This child is making me proud. That's how the public speaking comes about. But the writing part, oh my God.
I just like your reflection, Lead, about the title. Sometimes you can have a full manuscript, but the title, man, that's another thing. The title is not coming. Yeah.
And sometimes you might have the title, but you don't know if the public will understand it the way you say.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you want them to feel the way you feel that title.
That is so true. And sometimes people might even want to take your title to something else. Like my experience was when I published Truth Crisis. To me, it is Truth Crisis, but the public, other people were calling it the crisis of truth or the truth in crisis. And I was like, where do you guys get all that from?
It happens, I know.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, thank you guys. I think it has been a wonderful Tukul session, and I do not want to hold everyone hostage. It's night already. It's late night. So I really want us to...
I think Philip put up his hands.
Okay. Yeah. I see one more hand from Philip. Philip, please go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thank you for the second time chance. I'm sorry, guys, for disturbing.
No problem.
No, no.
Just few observation. At least you talk well,
Yes.
and long presentation also very comprehensive. Uh, with my observation, as at least said already, reading books and try to analyze has at least a conducive environment. The same what Ngong has put across in presentation. We we need to have that kind of environment where people at least in terms of network, in terms of maybe some gadgets, and also some mentor people which may facilitate in and out for you. I think with reading and also the book as at least put it across, we South Sudanese have that talented. Look at few of you now dominated the platforms with at least a knowledgeable aspects. If we are supposed to have that kind of spirit of, reading, aiming higher, having good environment, I mean, you are facilitated. Don't you think we should be a better future in South Sudan? This is the observation I just want to put across. Otherwise, thank you so much. You have made it true. I mean, at least to give some ideas to the generation to come. May you keep that spirit. But otherwise, let's pray hard and harder to have a conducive environment for our learning point to achieve at least the vision we are inspired to do in the future to come. Otherwise, thank you so much. This is what I have observed. And otherwise, let's keep in touch. We never know what will come next. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There's a challenge to Alit and the team, but about Writers Writing Fellowship, why is it not going beyond just mentoring to include publishing and supporting local aspiring writers? So maybe that's a question we can take home. Maybe that's a question we
I think even Ngong yourself, you know that we are trying our best to get into that. Even in our constitution, publishing is one of our things, research. But our country still does not believe in education. Our country still does not believe in art. And for us to push and get the resources, it's hard. This is why we do what we can, what our resources can do now.
True.
What we can manage. But we promise you that we are going to grow into that. And South Sudanese will really benefit from this. We promise you that we work every night and day to make this come true.
Thank you, Liz.
I think Stan and Wani have something to say.
Okay, maybe we'll go to Stan and then to Wani based on how the hands are raised. At least how I saw them. Yeah, so Stan.
Okay, thank you very much. I think just a last word for myself. I was just saying, in as much as the focus is to improve and develop South Sudan, but I think already the writings of Alith has gone into the continent. So I think you have to be, you have to have a sword with a double edge. So there's the sword that is going to improve South Sudan, but then you also have to have a sword that is going to also improve the whole of Africa. So our duty as soldiers now of writing, we have to create literature that is not necessarily going to go to South Sudan or South Africa or Kenya, but then also that looks at the whole continent, because when the whole continent thrive, then our countries are going to thrive as well. But then I just also wanted to mention that sometimes, yes, we do not have resources within our country, but we do have multilateral organizations such as the AU. And within the AU, we've got different commissions that talks to culture, that talks to education. And those particular commissions, they belong to us as the children of Africa. And if our countries do not have resources, we've got a platform to go to the AU and say and raise our voice there. There is already monies that are contributed at the AU level that can be used to improve the platforms that we need in order to help us to get the voices to the right people within our countries. But my challenge, I think, and for me to join this is, yes, I think we need to improve on South Sudan as much as possible, but then we also need to improve in the whole of Africa. Because also I think one thing that is confronting us is that when one country is fighting, we are confronted with the refugees of the other. So that is something that distort our progress. So that's why I'm saying our eyes should look at our countries, but then our eyes should also broaden up and look at the continent, so that those that are going to be in war situations, they will already have some kind of answers. If not today, maybe in the future. So we are the tools, and I think we have to take up this challenge to say we are the tools to change our continent, but then to also change the countries where we are at this stage, because we would know better of what is happening there. So I think that is the last words from me before I sleep, because I'm of the advanced age. So we sleep early when we get to this age, when we get older. But I'm grateful for this platform, and I'm going to, like I said, support all the way until we achieve our goal. Thank you very much to the whole team.
Thank you, Stan. I want to get to the age where I sleep early. Since childhood, I've never had good sleep.
Thank you very much, Stan, for your contribution to the conversation in the Tukul here. We gained a lot from your contribution so far. We hope to have you in the Tukul sometime soon as our main speaker, if your time will allow.
Yeah, thank you very much. But I don't always have to be the main speaker. I want to let us have a platform where we learn from each and every one of us. So I think in the coming future, let's give platforms to each and every one. Let us not have main speakers and small speakers. We are all equal in this platform, and we are all equally learning from each other. So I think when Alith is talking, we must listen to her. When Philip is going to talk, we'll listen to Philip. When Bol is going to talk, we'll listen. When Deng is going to, so we'll give each other an equal platform so that we can express ourselves equally, and we can learn from each other, and we will support each other, so that we don't have one person, being over the other, and then we start overlooking other people. I think if we can treat it in that way, that we are all writers and aspiring writers, then I think we'll go very far.
True.
Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much. That's another valuable contribution there. All right. So, hey, I see more hands raised, guys. Don't want to go to sleep. Celia, you are muted, if anything.
Okay, it's me talking now.
Yes, go ahead, Wani.
Okay, thank you so much for this great platform. And it really inspires me so much when it comes to the aspect of intellectual property, boosting our intellectual property in terms of writing. It's a very great resource that really we need to invest more of our time in terms when it comes to writing. Some of our best stories can best be told when it is written in books or published. So I really encourage myself. I've been hearing, learning, following up the Writers Fellowship, but I've never taken time to join the group. I think from this time, what could be the criteria, or how will I get in touch? So that also I joined the team. Previously, I have many articles in my blog, very many, but I've never published any of them. It is because I never thought of publishing them. But now, I think with this platform, I'll be able to see how my colleague, my good friend, Alif can help us. So that also I can publish one book. Eh? That is the most great resource that you'll always wish to live on this earth as a human being. It's really, it tells a lot about you. The second thing is, I think I would really, most often I like encouraging people like good writers, the poet, the artist. In terms of public speaking, most of the time I like coaching people through that. And how best can we join hands together with their team and public speaking forum to see how we can model some of the writers, some of the poets to build more in terms of public speaking and to engage even some of the school ongoing students, even universities, even the public in aspect of public speaking. We have witnessed some of the events that we move to in the country. And when it comes to public speaking, we see a lot of challenges. And I wish the Writer Fellowship joins together with the Public Speaking Forum Club, so that we model students in terms of the art of writing and then the art of public speaking. And I'll be ready to invest most of my time in writings and in supporting the team to build youth, to be a change agent when it comes to public speaking. I think that's something that I'm ready to support in. If the Writer Fellowship can also help me to see how we can boost that together. Thank you.
I think Matiang was the last person. Matiang Victor had something to say.
Yeah, I lowered his hand. I don't know. Matiang, would you still like to speak, or do you feel your point is covered?
Is he
I
still
can't
around?
see him. I think
He's in the call, actually. He's here.
Yeah.
And okay, maybe we can go ahead. Elite, maybe would you like to react a bit to the points raised by Wani?
I believe Wani's idea is a very good one. Mm-hmm. And I think as a team, we need to look into that and see how we can build up these young people for sure to be at least better than us. You know, that's at least what we can give South Sudan at the moment, to share our skills, share the little knowledge we have. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a very good idea, and we have to look into it as a team and make it come to realization. But it's a tough process. It's a very tough journey, but it's worth it.
Yeah. All right, thank you both for that interaction. I think maybe as writers writing fellowship, we can have another background discussion with Wani and see how we can interlink the writing and the art of public speaking, because these two seem to be going together actually. And as we do mentorship, we could still do mentorship at the same time on those two aspects. Yeah. All right, so I see another point in the chat here. Deng is asking, what tricks or techniques can somebody use to enhance his writing? I think we shared this a bit earlier in the presentation that we made. Yeah, maybe Deng, if you can share your email here, I can send it to you later, or as we usually do, it's going to be shared on Facebook and also on WhatsApp later. Yeah. So thank you very much. So hey guys, I think we have had like two cool sessions now in one night. Absolutely. Oh. The discussion has been growing and growing, and I think it became so nice for all of us, and really happy that we have the space where we can come and share our ideas. I think we have grown. We have helped each other grow actually this night, this conversation we have had here. Thank you very much everyone for your contribution. We have heard from most of you very valuable points. Thank you, Elite, for finding the time to be with us. And I think this was a very unique Tukul session for me. And yeah. So thank you, everyone. It has really given me another perspective on how we may even want to shape the discussion in the platform here, even based on the input that we had from Stan. So I look forward to seeing all of you in the next Tukul session, and I wish to have I share a good night with, like, a word of good night to all of you, and see you in the next Tukul session. I have been your host, John Ngong. Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night, Ngong. Thank you
Bye-bye.
so
Good
much.
night.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.